Welcome to my videos on my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about what happened on NFL 2025 season, week 14 scores. Well, yesterday closed the week 14 with the Monday Night Football, where the Chargers did a surprise and defeated the Eagles in overtime 22-19. So, for that reason, I'm recording this video when I'm going to talk about the games, the scores, how are the standings through our 14 weeks of games. So, let's start. Well, the week 14 started the last Tuesday with the Tuesday Night Football, where in that game, the Detroit Lions didn't have any problem and defeated the Dallas Cowboys 44-30. Before this game, it was a must to win this game for both teams because the winner of this team still will have still possibilities to qualify to the playoffs, and the team that will lose this game will be practically eliminated. So, in the end, the Lions dominate this game from the beginning to the end. Where in the halftime they were leading 29. The Cowboys put emotion because in the third quarter when they play better, they reduced the game to a one possession game. But after that, the Lions recovered and they won the game 44-30. With this victory, the Lions improved to a 8-5 record, and the Cowboys fell to a 6-6-1 record, and the Cowboys are practically eliminated, and the Lions are still in the hunt to enter to the playoff. And the games that we're playing in the Sunday, in the first game, in a game that between two teams that are eliminated, the Tennessee Titans did a surprise and defeated the Cleveland Browns 31-29. To be honest, there is not much to talk about two teams that are eliminated, only that it was a very funny game to watch because the game was close, even that the Titans had the opportunity. The Browns had the opportunity to win this game because they have they had to score the touchdown, but they missed the 2 points attainment, and for that reason they couldn't tie the game. With this victory, the Titans improved to they won his second game of the season, and the Browns lost his ninth game of the season. And in another game, the Seattle Seahawks traveled to Atlanta and defeated the humiliated the Falcons 37-9. About this game, in the first half, the game was very close because the game was tight 6-6 in the halftime. To be honest, I was very surprised that because the Falcons were playing a very great football, but in the second half, the Seattle Seahawks made the not adjustment. They outplayed and outscored the Falcons, where the Seattle Seahawks scored 31 points in the second half. The Falcons only scored 3 points, and for that reason, the Seahawks won that game. With this victory, the Seahawks improved to his 10th game of the week of the season, and with this loss, the Falcons are officially eliminated. In another game, in a divisional game, the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't have any problem and defeated the Indianapolis Colts 36-19. Remember that in this game, it was in play the lead in the AFC South. Where remember that before this week, before this game, the two teams had the same record, 8-4. So about this game, it was a most victory for two teams. About the Colts, remember that one month ago they have a 7-1 record and they were leading the AFC South, and it looked like that they were going to win that division. But after that, they have lost 5 of the last 5 games played. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won 5 of the last 5 games played, and they won this game easily. Where in the halftime they were leading the game 28-10, and the game was over. In the second half, the Jaguars relaxed his football level. The Colts took advantage of that, but it was impossible to reach them. And in the end, the Jaguars won the game. With this victory, the Jaguars improved to a 9-1 record. They stayed in the first place in the AFC South, and now the Jaguars control his destiny, and the most probably they're going to win this division. And about the Colts, they fell to a 8-5 record. In this moment, they are in the wild card zone. But the problem is that they are not playing a very great football. And the worst news is that Daniel Jones, the Colts starting quarterback, got injured. He got an Achilles injury, and he's out for the rest of the season. So this is bad because the Colts season started very great, but since November they started to play in a very bad football. Now they lost the possibility to win the division. It looked like that if the Colts want to qualify to the playoff, will be as a wild card team. But the worst news is that his quarterback Daniel Daniel Jones is out for the rest of the season. In another game, the two teams that are practically eliminated, the Vikings defeated and shoot down the Washington Commanders 31-0. To be honest, this was a surprise because I thought that the Commanders were going to win this game. Remember that 1 week ago, the Vikings were shut down where they lost 26-0 against I don't remember, the Ravens. No, the Patriots. Well, they lost 26-0, and it was a surprise. So I thought that the Commanders were going to win this game because the Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels returned to play, but unfortunately he got injured and he left the game in the second half. About this game, the Vikings play is his game of the season, and they shoot down the Commanders. Unfortunately for them, is that they are 3 games below 500, and the most probably they're going to be eliminated because it's very difficult that they can qualify. Sorry. And the Commanders with this loss, they are officially eliminated. In another game, in a tremendous game, the Buffalo Bills defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 39-34. This was a tremendous game. I'm not gonna lie. The Bengals had the game under control. They were leading. They were leading in the halftime. They were leading 21-11. Actually, in the end of the third quarter, they were leading by 3-point difference, 21-18. But what happened in the fourth quarter was tremendous because it was scored 34 points, 21 by the Bills and 30 by the Bengals. Where the Bills played its best football in the third quarter, they come back and they overcome and they won the game 39-34. This is an important victory because with this victory, the Bills are practically qualified to the playoffs as a wildcard team because it looked very difficult that they can win the AFC North. And with this loss, the Bengals are practically eliminated. In another game, an additional game, in a surprise, the New Orleans Saints traveled to Tampa Bay and defeated the Buccaneers 24-20. To be honest, this was an upset because I didn't expect that. But how I have told you, when there is a divisional game, the distance reduced. So it was a very close game where the Bucs had the opportunity to win this game because they had the last possession of the game, but Baker Mayfield couldn't move the ball. He threw an interception, or it was a fumble, I don't remember. And the New Orleans Saints defenses stopped the Bucs last drive. For that reason, the Saints won that game. With this victory, the Saints won its third game of the season, but they are eliminated, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost its sixth game of the season. Now they have the same record as the Panthers. They are tied in the first place in the NFC South, and now the Bucs are in danger to lose the division and to be eliminated. And another surprise, my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, traveled to Baltimore and defeated the Baltimore Ravens 27-22. To be honest, the both teams have been playing a very bad football. I'm not going to lie. Before this game, this is a must victory for the both teams because the winner of this game will increase his possibilities to qualify to the playoffs and will take the first place in the AFC North. To be honest about the Steelers, before this game, the last week, they play a very bad football against the Buffalo Bills, where I think that they played the worst game of the season. So the Steelers made some adjustment. I think that the Steelers play one of the best football that in this season, where I think that the Steelers won this game because they play a tremendous football in the first 3 quarters, where they scored 27 points. The problem is that in the fourth quarter, the Steelers offenses couldn't move the ball, but I think that we need to congrats the Steelers defenses because they stopped the Ravens in the last 2 drives of the game. They didn't allow any point, and the Steelers won the game is what's important. With this victory, the Steelers improved to a 7-6 record. They took the first place over in the AFC North, and now the Steelers control his destiny. The problem is that the Steelers need to win all the games or win one more game than the Ravens to qualify to the playoffs, and the Ravens are in the nearest to be eliminated because if they want to qualify to the playoffs, they need to win this division. And in another game, this has nothing in play. The Miami Dolphins defeated the New York Jets 34-10. About this game, the Dolphins had an easy game. They won the game since the first quarter, where they scored 31 points, and that was enough to win that game. With this victory, the Dolphins won both games against the Jets this season, and now the Dolphins are 1 game below 500. To be honest, 1 month ago, I didn't expect that the Dolphins, I thought that the Dolphins were eliminated. I think that the Dolphins are not going to qualify to the playoff, but in this moment, the Dolphins still have possibility to win to qualify to the playoff, but they are not going to qualify. And the Jets are officially eliminated in another game, in a divisional game. The Denver Broncos didn't have any problem and defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 24-17. The Broncos had an easy game, to be honest. The Raiders are a very bad team, and the Broncos won this game easily. With the victory, the Broncos won the two games against the Raiders in the season, and with the victory, the Broncos improved to the 11-2 record, and in this moment, they are leading the AFC, and the Raiders are officially eliminated. In another divisional game, the Los Angeles Rams traveled to Glendale, Arizona, and defeated the Arizona Cardinals 45-17. To be honest, this game showed the big difference between these two teams. The Rams are one of the best team in the league, are one of the favorites of the favorite team to represent the NFC in the next Super Bowl 60, and the Cardinals are one of the worst team in the league. I know that this is a divisional game, but to be honest, the Rams show why they are one of the best teams. They had the game under control when in the halftime they were leading 24-10. In the second half, they scored another 21 points. They have the game under control in the halftime, and they won the game easily. With this victory, the Rams returned to the victory after they lost and they were upset by the Panthers 1 week ago. And the Cardinals are eliminated. And in another game, in a tremendous game, an important game, the Green Bay Packers defeated the Chicago Bears 28-21. This was a must victory for both games, because the winner of this game will increase the possibility to win this division. Before the game, the Bears were leading the division, and the Packers won this game. It was a very great game, and the Packers show that in this moment, in my opinion, they are the team to bet in the AFC North. The Bears had the opportunity to tie this game and to force overtime, where the Bears in the Bears last drive, they were in the Packers red zone. They had the opportunity to score a touchdown. Even they were going to score a touchdown, but unfortunately, Caleb Williams threw a very bad pass. It was an interception. The Chicago Bears wide receiver, it was open, but Caleb Williams threw a very bad pass. It was an interception, and the game was over. In the end, the Packers won the game. And with this victory, the Packers took the first place in the NFC North. And with this victory, the Packers control his destiny, and they most probably are going to win this division. The great news is that the Packers Bears are going to play again in the last week, where maybe it will be in play the first place in the NFC North. And about the Bears, with this loss, the Bears lost the first place in the NFC North, and they fell to the 7th place. But what unbelievable! And in another game in the Sunday Night Football, the Houston Texans traveled to Kansas City and defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 2010. About this game, I think that the Texans defenses won this game, because the Texans defenses is one of the best unities in the NFL, and they won this game. Even that the Texans offenses is playing a very bad football, the Texans defenses show they are one of the best. About the Chiefs lost this game, and the Chiefs are in risk to lose the playoff. To be honest, I think that the Chiefs are not going to qualify to the playoff, because they are one game below 500 now. The Chiefs need to win the rest of his games and waste some combination to qualify to the playoff, but it looks very difficult. And about the Texans haven't been playing a very good football in the offensive side, but his defense is playing a very good football. One month ago, in the beginning of the November, I never thought that the Texans had the opportunity. I thought they were eliminated, but now they are 3 games above 500, and they are in the hunt to enter to the playoff. And the week closed with the Monday Night Football, where the Los Angeles Chargers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 22-19. About this game, there was several errors. I think that it wasn't a very great game, but I think that the Chargers did enough to win that game. About the Eagles, I don't know what is happening with the Eagles. The Eagles, remember what happened 2 years ago, but remember that in the 2023 season, they started very well the season. I think that they started 8-1. they had a 1 record in the beginning of November, but 2 years ago they lost like the 6 of the last 7 games. They lost the division against the Dallas. I think 2 years ago they played in the wild card run, and they lost against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they were eliminated. So this season it looked like the same, where the Philadelphia Eagles started very great, but since November they have started to losing games, and they fell to a 5 record. They lost the game in the overtime, where the Eagles had the opportunity to win this game, where the Eagles were in the Charger threat zone, but Jalen Hurts threw an interception and the game was over. With this loss, the Eagles fell to a 5 record, and they're gonna to win his division because the rest of his rival are very bad. But I think that the Eagles don't have enough to win the NFC conference. And about the Chargers, they won his 9th game of the season, and they are practically qualified to the playoffs. So, who are the standings? The Patriots didn't play, had a bad week. They are still in the AFC East, and they're going to win that division. The Bills are going to enter to the playoffs as a wild card team, and the Dolphins and the Jets are eliminated. About the Steelers are leading the AFC North, and they control the destiny to win the division, but they need to win the rest of the games, or win one more game than the Ravens to qualify to the playoff. And the Ravens lost the opportunity to stay in the first place, but they have possibilities. The Bengals and the Browns are eliminated. This is a very interesting division because the Jaguars are leading this division. They have a 9-4 record. They have a back to 4 winning streak. They control his destiny to win this division, but the Texans and the Colts still have possibilities. About the Texans, who I told you 1 month ago, the Colts were leading this division. They have like the 3-game advantage against the Jaguars and the Texans, and it looked like the Jaguars and the Texans were going to be eliminated, but they recovered, and for that reason now they are in the top in this division. About the Colts, they have a 3 losing streak. They lost his quarterback, and let's see what happens. But the most probably the Colts can be eliminated, and the Titans are in the bottom. And in the AFC West, the Broncos are leading this division easily 11-2, and they are gonna to win this division. The Chargers are still in the wild card run, and the Chiefs, for first time in 9 years, they are not gonna to win this division, and then most probably they are gonna to be eliminated, and the Raiders are in the bottom. And in the NFC East, the Eagles have 3 consecutive losses, but they're going to win this division because the rest of the teams are very bad and they are eliminated. The Commanders are Giants officially, but the Cowboys are not going to qualify. About the NFC North, the Packers took the control of the division. They have a 4-winning streak. They are leading this division. They are fighting to win this division against the Bears and the Lions. And let's see if these 3 teams are going to qualify to the playoff, or only 2 teams. About the Vikings, they are eliminated in the NFC South. There is a lot of emotion because the Bucs and the Panthers have the same record, 7-6. They are the only one team. The winner of this division is going to qualify to the playoff. Let's see what's going to happen, because nobody expected that in this moment of the season the Panthers still will have possibilities to qualify to the playoff. And about the Falcons and the Saints are eliminated. And about the Rams, it's very interesting because it's the same that is happening in the NFC North, where 3 teams are in the hunt to enter to the playoffs. In this moment, these 3 teams are in the playoff position. Let's see what is going to happen. But these 2 teams are 3 of the best teams in the league, and the Cardinals are eliminated. So, in this moment, the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, and the Steelers are leading the division in the AFC. And the wildcard teams in this moment are the Chargers, the Bills, and the Texans. In this moment, the teams that are in the hunt to the playoff are the Colts, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. But in my opinion, the only 2 teams that have possibilities to enter to the playoff are the Colts and the Ravens. And in the NFC, the leaders of this division are the Rams, the Packers, the Eagles, and the Bucks. And the wildcard team are the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Bears. And the Lions, Panthers, Cowboys, and Vikings are in the hunt to enter to the playoff. But I think that only the Lions and the Panthers have possibility to enter to the playoffs. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment suggestion, you can write me in any social media platform. So see you next video. Gibran.